under President Trump, the U.S. economy continues to surge. Last month alone saw 40,000 new manufacturing jobs. Big number. And that's just one example. But a familiar face is trying to steal President Trump's credit.
As we took these actions, we saw the U.S. economy grow consistently. We saw the longest streak of job creation in American history by far. A streak that still continues, by the way. Thanks, Obama.
It's a good line. Thanks, Obama. But shouldn't we be thanking President Trump? Here to break it down is economist and University of Maryland professor Peter Morici. Professor, thanks for joining us this morning. So you're going to see two sides of this argument. Of course, President Obama is going to try to say, I built the ramp for this. This is my surge in the economy. President Trump saying, no, I unleashed the market through deregulation and the promise of tax reform. Who's right?
President Trump. You know, President Obama reads from a very simple textbook of democratic economics. All the problems in the world are caused by Republicans, and when the Republicans are in, they cause nothing but problems. In his administration, whenever something went wrong, he blamed the legacy of George Bush. And now, with Donald Trump, is accomplishing something that President Trump just couldn't do. We're going to have 3 consecutive quarters of 3% growth. We haven't seen that since 2004. During the Obama period, they created jobs for sure, but it was a very slow pace, about half the pace as during the Reagan years, which, by the way, was when we last cut taxes and deregulated.
Absolutely. Well, Professor, we've got some of those stats that you talked about. We'll put them up on the screen. Almost a 30% increase in stock market value. As you mentioned, over 3% GDP growth in the last 2 quarters. Unemployment rate down to 4.1%, which is a 17-year low. So a thought exercise here is, would these things be happening if it was President Hillary Clinton right now? She would have continued the policies of her predecessor, Barack Obama. Instead, we have President Trump. So would we be seeing this growth with a different president?
Absolutely not. The whole mantra of the Obama-Clinton presidency and legacy is the notion that we live in an age of limits, that the economy can't grow, that the wealthy are stealing it all, and we have to redivide a limited pie. Whereas the whole notion behind Trumponomics is let's make the pie bigger, let's create more opportunities, let's give everybody a ladder up. I like that optimism, and it's catching on in business. It wouldn't be here without President Trump. Simply, America is open for business again. The government is no longer hostile. I mean, at the rate we were going with Barack Obama, before you know it, it would be about as exciting here as North Korea.
Quick final thought here. We only have a moment. 3% growth is where we're at. Where do you see us growing to? Is it 4, 5, 6? Some have said 6%. What do you think?
Well, no, we're not going to grow at 6%. 4% growth is possible during most quarters if we get some more initiatives beyond the tax cuts. We're going to have an infrastructure program. We're going to have meaningful immigration reform. And we're going to have some reforms in how we spend the money that we have. We're spending far too much on entitlements, which is discouraging people from working. We need to find ways to enable people to get back out into the labor force. If we do those things, and they're on the list, if we work down the list, I'd like to know, what are the Democrats going to do when all this growth kicks in? And what are they going to do come May when people have more money in their paycheck and the economy's growing?
It's true, Professor.
Do they get on the wagon and help us get there?